Greetings, our Hello football families. Welcome to Yawd Ballers, where we discuss everything relating to Jamaican football. I'm your host, Benton Jr. How you doing, brother?
Well, I'm here and I'm good.
And a part what we are saying. Come on, how are you doing?
I'm good.
Welcome. And football lovers, we might be having some technical difficulties on our platform. Big up to all the family out there on Island Sports Network as we discuss Jamaican-related football and football, all things about Jamaican-related football. If we're having any technical issues on Island Sport Network, the video probably will go away. We'll put up a connect with us. What we're having is that our cache or medium that we stream online is giving us some technical issues. But running in Red Stripe Premier League, I almost say English Premier League. Jamaican Red Stripe Premier League kicks off today. Defending champion, Portmore don't start today. Come on, we have a big matchup with Humble Lion versus Arnett Garden. Mr. Price takes Humble Lion into the depth of the jungle. Your thoughts on this matchup? Come on, and what do we expect from Andrew Price and this Humble Lion outfit?
Well, I don't know about Humble Lions. Let me talk about Arnett Garden, right? Arnett Garden fired Jerome Waite.
You choose
what are they doing?
You choose to Thomas.
Yeah, but why? What are they doing?
Yeah.
I mean, what are they doing? Jerome Waite is one of the winningest coaches in Jamaica. So for Arnett Gardens to cut Jerome Waite, it just seemed personal to me because Jerome Waite is my guy and he's an awesome coach. So I hope Jerome Waite goes on to bigger and better things. Humble Lion is not the Humble Lion of past. So I am looking at Arnett Gardens to beat the brakes of Humble today in their marquee matchup.
Yeah, so Thomas, who's the coach of Arnett Garden, he's young, he said he dreamt of this sort of job. I mean, he represents Jamaica there in the 1999 under-17 World Cup, and he also represents Jamaica at different levels. He's got, some experience there with his backroom staff, and he's from Arnett Gardens. So he knows the culture of the club and knows the mindset of the player, Junior. So then it should be easy peasy for Mr. Thomas, right?
I'm trying to do my research. Do we know what's the reason? Like not the official, but
I didn't hear anything.
Because I haven't seen a reason why they moved on from Mr. Waite. So what if half the team liked him?
Why don't just have a sub and play with the coach, Thomas? They've responded well to him in training, right? Come on, you were saying something.
Jerome Waite is loved. I mean, he's not only loved by the players of Arnett Gardens, but other players as well. He coached my son at the U20 level, and up to today, he talks about Jerome Waite. Jerome is like a fitness coach. He says if Jerome Waite has a training session, everybody is dead, because he's all about fitness. And then he and my husband too, he played for Arnett Gardens, and Jerome Waite was his coach. And he talks about Jerome Waite in glowing terms. So it's kind of hard to see, that Jerome Waite was pushed out because of not being liked. No, he wasn't liked. He was loved. And then for the new coach to come on and say he's from Arnett Gardens and knows the culture, some of the players are not from Arnett Gardens. So will they adapt to his teachings or his vision? Will that work? We shall see. So Arnett Gardens is really one of the winningest teams in Stripe Premier League. So hopefully they can beat Humble Lions today. One of the things that I wanted to see was Portmore versus Mullines. Mullines is kind of like a new unit, and Portmore is the defending champion. So that's going to be an interesting match. If we want it to be interesting and fun for the rest of the season, Mullines beat the brakes off Portmore.
Wait, and are you saying this because Billy Gardner is coaching Portmore as he rolls out as big bad coach?
Absolutely not. I just want, you see, Junior always talk about parity. I like when a little dibby team like a Sheffield United beat a giant like a Chelsea. So I like to see the small teams do well, and from the small teams, then those players get the recognition. The players and the coaches get the recognition. Not only a Portmore coach, not only a Cavalier coach, not only a Mount Pleasant coach, but these young, simple coaches, or not simple, but young, new coaches, new in the limelight. I like when they get their moment to shine. Right. And I'm also interested to see how Mount Pleasant and Harborview plays out. That's going to be an interesting matchup, and I want to see what happens with that.
So it's probably too early to really start assessing who will win this league. It's a long season. I mean, but will Donovan Dookie and Mount Pleasant have any issue about fitness, Junior?
No,
you're funny.
We'll talk about fitness in a little bit.
Yeah, because to piggyback on that fitness comment, you don't smoke without fire. And Cameron brought up a very good point. And Mr. Jerome Waite is great with fitness.
Yeah.
And for Jerome Waite to just leave his job 2 days before the kickoff.
I don't know when he left. I don't know. I know Thomas is running. Do we know officially when he left? Come on.
Officially, yeah.
We know.
No, but it was reported last week. That's when we thought that he left.
So let's assume the reporting is right. Let me tell you something.
Mm-hmm.
Don't be surprised if Jerome Waite gone into JFF for the fitness. Because the under 23 and the senior man is talking about the team is not fit.
All right.
Okay.
And we'll get to the JFF in a little bit as we get ready for international break and Jamaica in Nations League. Come on, the big matchup, or as we said, is Arnett versus Humble Lion. The league will actually kick off at 4:30 with UWI versus Tivoli Gardens. Island Sports Network will be carrying the games live. They have the exclusive rights for the Red Stripe Premier League. I mean, in terms of standard of football this year in the Red Stripe Premier League, come on, are we looking for another improvement, another year of better football, better officiating, and overall improvement of the fields, and essentially the betterment of the product? Because as you know, if the product on the field is not good in the regular the league play, then it affects our overall national play in terms of competition on the international level.
That's what we expect. Tapa called in a local-based team, a local-based player team, heavy roster. He called them in to compete in the Nations League B. I think the first game is on September 6th. And Tapa had the issue. He said the local players are not fit. That's what he said, because he had a camp. He just had a camp, and he's saying that the players who play in the RSPL are not fit. That's telling. I mean, that's disturbing in itself, and that's telling in itself. How can you be so close to opening day and the players who are on camp are not fit? Someone told me the other day that one of the reasons why the players are not fit or don't think that playing football is their primary thing is that the salary is low and most of them have to have a second job. So if you have to have a second job, you can't spend all that time honing your craft. You can't get better at football if you have to work a 9 to 5 to make up what is lacking in terms of finances. So once they address that portion and players can focus solely on improving themselves and getting better, the Premier League will have these kinds of results.
Yeah.
Hopefully, they work the issues out with the referees. So there'll be referees at the games, good referees at the games. And then they can also look at fixing the fields, because some of these fields are ridiculous.
Yeah.
And then on top of that, they need to improve on security. Spectators don't want to go to the games because of lack of security, and the referees don't feel safe enough to want to referee these fixtures, because there are different things that they need to fix before the Premier League can be one of the best leagues in the Caribbean.
I think the word to put there to sum it up, because I agree with everything that you said, come on, is infrastructure.
Yeah.
They need to have a solid infrastructure in place. So it's a new season. We see where technology is now coming into play, where you have mediums like islandsports.net will be broadcasting the games worldwide. So that's more eyes. And I would hope that the organizers and the sponsors will see the need to have a good infrastructure so the product on the field can be good, which will then translate into the national program. So
Correct.
we will see. It's a long process. I don't expect it to happen overnight.
Yeah.
But we should at least see signs of where last year, to piggyback on what Kamon said, need more security. Last year you said 1 police officer. Let's hope this year we see 3.
Yeah.
Last year we see fields where the grass was high. Let's hope that the grass have at least cut this time.
Yes.
So,
incremental improvements.
Yeah, that's what
Are
I
big
want to
improvements, either one, but overall we need improvements.
Right.
Before we get to the segment where we discuss and get an overview of Jamaican players overseas playing in leagues elsewhere, come on, Antigua versus Jamaica in Nations League Group B. You know, what do you expect from this game coming up this week in our international break?
I like how you chuckle.
I chuckle, but
I expect Jamaica to win. Will they win? They should. The roster has 3 English-based players. It was surprising that Michael Hector was not on the list. They have Bobby Reed, and they have, Daniel Johnson, and Adrian Mariappa is back in the fold. I think I saw where someone was talking about where's Wes Morgan. Wes Morgan is 35. Let Wes Morgan rest. You know, he already said that he wants to retire from international football. Let's not dig up Wes Morgan. We must be able to find a young enough player who can slide into that slot and continue doing what Wes Morgan did for us during the Gold Cup when Vinny Schaefer was here. So the team, you know, with only 3 foreign-based players, not foreign-based players, 3 English-based players on the roster, the rest is filled with Jamaican players, Jamaican local players who play in the RSPL and the USL. It's Darren Mattox is not in the squad. That I cannot understand. But for me, Darren Mattox is a player that I would call. That's just me, because Darren has proved himself time and time again. Yes, he might have a little bit of issues going on with his club, but at least he's playing. Topper called Corey Burke. The last time I saw Corey Burke was skipping at his gate, trying to keep fit, but yet Topper called him into camp. Darren Mattox is playing at least 45 minutes, so I'm not sure why Mattox is not on the list, but Corey Burke's last game was in April. So Topper is another one with man management that's kind of crazy, that you have to scratch your head when he when he calls his players into camp. All in all, we should be able to beat Antigua, and I think we play Guyana as well. We should be able to beat them, but guess what? Curacao beat us already. So we just have to take it as we see it and hope that the team shows up on the day it's supposed to play.
That's a mouthful. Junior, you have anything to add? I mean,
No.
President Ricketts, President of JFM, Mr. Ricketts, was out this week talking about, you know, the amount of English-based players that will join up this unit. Is that his place to really kind of focus on personnel in the team? Or is it his responsibility to be focusing on the administrative side, making sure that financially, operationally, things are good, and let the selectors or those who are choosing players overseas deal with that sort of thing? I.e., the Topper Whitmers of the world should be drafting his squad, not the president saying we have Bobby Reed and speaking of Wes Morgan, and, you know, maybe Topper don't want to use those players. I don't know. Or maybe I'm just way off base here, but
I think that's a loaded question.
Okay, that's too much.
Because you're asking if a CEO should trust who he hired to do the job.
Why shouldn't we not trust the person we hired to do the job to deal with the personnel that
but
suits
then,
the system best?
But then you trusted that guy, and that guy put together a team that Curacao beat.
But he's still in the job, though.
I know.
Okay.
So that's why it's a loaded question.
Don't look at me with a weird eye, Regin. Either you answer the question or not.
No.
That's a whole lot of things going on there.
That's 5 shows.
It's 5 or 20 shows.
And for me, it is simple.
Yeah.
Jamaica just need to beat the teams that they should beat, and not only wait until the Gold Cup lights are on.
Okay.
Because if they play with the Gold Cup lights, Antigua has no chance of beating them.
Okay.
But if they don't play with the Gold Cup lights, then a Curacao can beat them.
Yeah. And to emphasize the importance and the real importance of these Nation League Group B games, yes, we're not satisfied that Jamaica is in Nation League Group B. We would rather they're in Nation League Group A. But because of the new format of the CONCACAF World Cup qualifying for 2022, come on, these games against the Nation League Group B teams will subsequently be critical in the FIFA ranking, as those FIFA ranking will play a huge role in the seedings for the 2022 World Cup qualifiers in CONCACAF, right?
Yes.
Yes.
So we have to beat the teams that are placed in front of us.
Yes.
We can't take anything for chance. We can't think that any team is beneath us anymore.
Yeah.
You know, gone are the days where we thought that maybe Trinidad would be our stiffest competitor, or maybe a Panama is our stiffest competitor. Now we have the likes of Guyana. We have the likes of Curacao. We have those teams that are going neck to neck with us. So we can't take anything for chance or anything for granted. These are important games. Yeah, we should still be in League A, but it's our own undoing. Jamaica is the reason why Jamaica is not in League A. So we just have to do well in B. We can't take anything, to chance, and just keep it moving. Hopefully our rankings improve, and then, we should be okay for World Cup.
And we just want our rankings to stay steady, right? In terms of level, of numbers. So, and I don't want to sound like I'm talking out both sides of my mouth, but at one end, I want to see Jamaica blood in the young players that really are going to take part in the World Cup if they were to qualify for the World Cup. So and I've been saying that that's why I love the Nations League. Yeah. But the onus is now on the young players to actually produce. So now you young players, you unfit players, there's a challenge. We lay the challenge down to you. Go out there with your one chance, beat the brakes off Antigua, and make Tupper have to now say to himself, Jano, do I really need to call in this baller from England when I have a youth that scored 3 goals, or a youth that looked like world class against Antigua? The onus is on the player. We as coaches can sit down and say, like Cameron said, we need to have Mattox in the side. Corey Burke is at in fence, skipping rope. Well, Corey Burke, you have a chance. Go out there and prove why Tupper called you and not Mattox. Let us not take the responsibility away from the players.
Yeah, and football fans, Jamaica play Antigua on Friday, and then they play Guyana on Monday in Group B Nations League. Rounding up the players, come on, give us our update, our football fans, Yawd football fans, update on players, Jamaican players overseas, and how did they perform? Did anyone perform?
But yeah, before we touch that, I wanted to touch on the women's league, the Women's Premier League in Jamaica.
Yes.
So Waterhouse beat Royal Lakes 10-0 at Lakes Pen. And they probably had 30 people at the game.
Wow.
So no, I'm trying to say that the sheen has been rubbed off. I mean, like it's no longer, there's no glowing feeling over our national team, our women's national team making to the World Cup, because as I said already, they put nothing in the Women's Premier League. There's no marketing, nothing at all. So they had nobody at the games, and it was poor. So if we are going to talk about improving the women's game, if we're going to talk about the grassroots results, then we have to start. My sister is back from China with the U15 group. Hopefully we can have her on the program so she can talk a little bit about what she intends to do with her St. Diego football team, the female football team, going into this season. And hopefully she can give us some insights into what they learned when they were in China and what she sees as the future of the U15 female team going forward. So that was just my thing. We need to support the women's program.
For sure.
So,
Yes.
so Shamar Nicholson scored an outstanding goal. It was a wonderful clip. In his debut, he played 90 minutes, and it was a great score, for him. 3-0, his team won, but that goal was an exceptional goal. So big ups to him.
Jamar.
Yeah, big ups to him. For USL, Nico Brett, he has been doing well. So he had a goal, I think, and an assist over the weekend. But aside from the goal and the assist, Nico's overall play was just exceptional. And he's one of those players that I think that he's on the outside looking in. And if Tapa needs to be fair, he should bring in all these players. We should not overlook any of the players who are scoring or playing well. Jamaica needs to bring everybody in and pick the best from the best. So Nico Brett, did well. So, as I said, Kevon Frater, he's still on 14 goals. He's one of those players, too, that cannot get a call up to the national program. Flemings is on 11 goals. He got called up. He's on the roster. Deshaun Brown is on 11 goals. He did well. And I said Nico Brett, he has 10 goals. Seaton's still on 9 because he hasn't played yet. So he's doing well. Romeo Parks, he scored again in his league this weekend. So he's also scoring. Leon Bailey had a good game. He played well for his team. They only got the 1 point. They didn't win. So Jamaicans are out there scoring. So we shouldn't have the issue where when the Jamaican national team plays that we can't score goals or we just cannot do well. We have the players out there and we have the tools going on.
Yeah.
So that's my roundup of the Jamaican players.
And what about Khadija Shaw and any of the ladies players? Any update on them?
I think Khadija Shaw, she scored again. I think she scored a brace the last game that she played. Yeah. I'm not sure. I didn't check on her. I should check on her. Yeah. But they keep saying, I read on Twitter where they said that every game that she plays, she scores. Okay. So, hopefully she can continue playing because she's the face of our program. Yes, Jodie Brown, she went back to school, so her season is going to start. So our players are out there playing. And, hopefully we can still keep the core group of players. I did hear that the money is still outstanding, but that's another topic for another day.
No, but I had to my head about them things right now. Big up yourself, football family. Junior, you have any update or any roundup on Jamaican players?
Build the infrastructure.
Just build the infrastructure.
Build the infrastructure.
Build the infrastructure.
That's my update.
Red Stripe Premier League kicks off today at 4:30 p.m. All right, 4:30 p.m. our time, 3:30 p.m. A UWI versus how would I play?
You did tell me.
Yeah, I did tell you earlier.
Tivoli. You replace Tivoli, but you're saying that Arnett Gardens and Humble Lions is the match to watch. I think the Mount Pleasant Harborview is the game of the day.
Yeah, because you're a big Dookie fan still.
And I want to see how Dookie bounces back from all the negativity that was thrown his way. I want to see it.
All the under 20. Football fans, yo, we done enough. Island Sport Network family, big up yourself out there. Regin, we're wrapping up. Any final comments? You ready for what some Red Stripe Premier League later today?
Build the infrastructure.
Build the infrastructure. Link us on social media. Connect with us. We always want to connect with fans who care about Jamaican football. You don't know, it's a platform to give fans, administrators, footballers an opportunity to come and just share and interact because we all have a common objective, trying to improve the sport on our island. And it can make money. It's an economical drive and a lot of other spaces. So link us on social media, Ball Chat Podcast on Instagram, Ball Chat 1 on Twitter, Ball Chat on Facebook. Email us at ballchatpodcast@gmail.com. Shamar, go on eat your food, youth.